Gordon, I want to play a game. Your aim is to kill Adam. You have until 6 on the clock to do it.
Discover 10 fascinating aspects of Saw that may have evaded even the most devoted fans as we go deeper into its sinister world. The franchise contains a wealth of obscure, miniature, behind-the-scenes anecdotes and creative influences that add to its long history in addition to the terrifying traps and the recognizable Jigsaw. Prepare to discover the mysteries and unexpected twists that add depth to the mysterious universe of 10 things you did not see about the show, not movies, remember this, show, Saw. 2004 film of the same name launched the James Wan and Lee Wanahal founded American horror media franchise, which swiftly exploded into a global pop culture phenomenon. The franchise has grown to include a number of movies and other forms of media, such as video games, comic books, music, and theme park attractions, in addition to merchandise, including toys, masks, and clothes. A television series is also in the works. One of the most successful horror franchises ever is Saw. The main characters of the show are the fictitious serial killer John Jigsaw Kramer and his trainees. Kramer was briefly introduced in Saw and further developed in Saw 2 and the future movies. He traps his victims in potentially fatal scenarios that he refers to as tests or games, rather than simply killing them. Saw was intended to be released straight to video. On Halloween 2004, the horrifying world of Saw was released into theaters. Boy, did this movie go far! It earned $18 million in its first week alone, making Saw incredibly successful, given that it only cost $1 million to produce. If you can believe it, Saw wasn't even intended for a theatrical release. This low-budget horror film was made with the intention of being released straight to video. Due to Saw's good reviews at the Sundance Film Festival, the film's distributor, Lionsgate, chose to release it theatrically on October 31 for Halloween. To everyone's astonishment and delight, Saw was a huge hit. Although the film received mixed reviews from reviewers who weren't sure how to react to this cruel horror film, audiences enthusiastically accepted it and saw it as the beginning of a new genre of horror film, an immediate gruesome classic. Saw went on to gross almost $104 million at the box office, which is incredible given that the movie only cost $1 million to film. The success immediately paved the way for a follow-up. Although Saw is an American horror franchise, its influence was felt all over the world. The phrase torture porn, frequently connected to graphic violence in the series, was created by UK critics, but quickly expanded to be used to describe movies like Saw. The Saw movies are renowned for their detailed details and subtle allusions. For instance, a number of 237 assigned to the restroom in the first movie is a reference to the infamous room from Stephen King's The Shining. In order to ensure that the traps in Saw could potentially function, a real-life engineer assisted in their design. Despite being gory, the movies tried to portray the traps as accurately as possible. The first 3 Saw movies were produced quickly, as evidenced by their annual release schedules from 2004 to 2006. This speedy turnaround helped the franchise have a lasting cultural influence and maintain consumer interest. Billy the Puppet's appearance changes slightly in each movie. These changes are deliberate and frequently reflect how the Jigsaw character and his games are always developing. The Saw franchise expanded outside of movies. There were Saw video games that left players step within the traps, giving the fright an interactive element. The classic and eerie music for the Saw series was composed by Charlie Clouser, a former member of the band Nine Inch Nails. His efforts were extremely important in establishing the strong mood for the movies. Tobin Bell, the actor who plays Jigsaw, gives Billy the Puppet's creepy voice. He composed an unsettling delivery becoming emblematic of the persona. Jigsaw's moral philosophy is influenced by the works of philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who spoke about the nature of humanity and the concept of social contract. The creators of Saw, James Wan and Lee Wanhao, appeared in all of the movies in the franchise in cameo roles. They frequently appear in supporting and background roles. The 10 things you have to keep in mind about the show Saw. Number 1, innovative marketing. The Saw marketing plan was as creative as the movie's traps. By posting brief excerpts and enigmatic statements that piqued the interest of potential viewers, the producers used a word-of-mouth campaign and generated internet buzz. This grassroots strategy helped the movie stand out in a congested market and was a factor in its surprising success. Number 2, Saw's influence on horror tropes. By fusing psychological terror and graphic violence, Saw defied common horror conventions. The idea of a moralistic killer, as opposed to a supernatural slasher adversary, brought a new dimension to the genre and influenced other horror movies that sought to make a greater intellectual impression. Number 3, philosophical debates. Philosophical discussions among viewers were prompted by the moral quandaries depicted in the Saw series. Jigsaw's notion that his gains were a means of moral advancement and the moral ramifications of his activities grew to dominate discussions among fans. raising the series above typical horror fare. Number 4, Jigsaw's legacy in pop culture. Jigsaw's catchphrase, "I want to play a game," has become associated with the character and is frequently intimidated or mentioned in different media. Jigsaw's influence transcends the horror genre and into popular culture, making him a recognizable foe. Number 5, international directors. The first Saw movie was directed by James Wan, but other directors such as Darren Lynn Bousman, David Hackle, and Kevin Garrett worked on the sequels. This cooperative strategy made room for various creative viewpoints, which helped the series' tone and style to vary between its several episodes. Number 6, critical reception. The Saw television series received conflicting responses from critics. Some praised its originality and psychological complexity, while others questioned its overt violence. Despite the conflicting views, the franchise's contribution to the horror subgenre and ability to keep a devoted fan base attest to its lasting legacy. Number 7, Jigsaw's legacy beyond death. Even after Jigsaw passed away in the third movie, his influence could still be seen in later installments. The storyline was nevertheless shaped by flashbacks, recordings, and ideas, demonstrating the character's pervasive influence on the main plot. Number 8, real-world impact. The movie Saw sparked debates over how close horror fiction gets to reality. The visceral nature of the trap sparked discussions on the obligation of filmmakers to depict violence and gore, with some critics raising concerns about the possibility of audiences becoming desensitized. Number 9, exploration of addiction. The movie Saw addressed themes of addiction in both their literal and more general meaning, focusing on the characters' obsessions and the cyclical nature of video games. This gave the story an additional degree of psychological complexity and explored the depths of human conduct in different situations. Number 10, cinematic homage. The film Saw pays homage to vintage thriller and horror movies with its visual aesthetic. Film noir-inspired techniques were used by series cinematographer David A. Armstrong, who worked on multiple episodes to enhance the suspenseful aspects that are essential to the success of the franchise. In conclusion, the Saw film series has irrevocably changed the horror genre by raising the bar for psychological fear and redefining expectations. Saw has continuously mesmerized audience with its dense storytelling, clever traps, and the enigmatic character of Jigsaw from its humble beginnings as a low-budget movie with a unique concept to a worldwide phenomenon. The series goes beyond traditional horror, exploring the liminal spaces between life and death, psychological trauma, and moral philosophy. In addition to its influence on the horror landscape, Saw has left a lasting legacy by influencing popular culture and igniting a new generation of horror writers. The suspenseful narrative, obscure details, and character developments in movies like Jigsaw and Billy the Puppet all add to the franchise's enduring appeal. With spin-off sequels and devoted following, Saw has left a lasting impression that serves as proof of the impact of creative filmmaking. The series dared to defy expectations, redefine horror tropes, and give viewers an immersive experience that sticks with them. As a result, Jigsaw and his game's legacy have been cemented as a standard for contemporary horror narrative. Thank you for watching this video. We genuinely hope you found it to be both insightful and practical. Please click the like button and tell your loved ones about it. Please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Until then, bye.